Welcome, and I'm coming to you with today's live broadcast to tell you don't watch the news. Hey, welcome back to Fetta Facts. I'm going to talk about why news makes you lose. I would turn it off completely. I would never watch it again. No matter how important the guy looks, unless it's Ron Burgundy, I'll let you guys watch Ron Burgundy. Ron Burgundy's funny. Anything else though, let's not watch it. But I want to tell you, for me, like what I've observed with the news, what I see happening, and I'm going to give you my tip. The reason why I don't watch it, and it's probably not what you're thinking, but it's a good logical reason. And so today I want to make a strong argument on why it can't help you to know about the things that are on the news. And if you stick around to the end of the video, I'm going to tell you what you can do instead. How do you stay informed, right? So without further ado, let's get into our topic. So I'm going to come right out and say it. I think news makes you lose, right? So I remember as a kid, my mom was like huge into Fox News. Every night Fox News was on. Bill O'Reilly was there. Greta Von whatever was there. The Fox crew, all these people. Like I remember that was every single night in my house, talking about wars, talking about, political scandals, talking about natural disasters. So here's the thing. What we pay attention to is what we're basically putting our attention on. Like attention is such an important thing as a being. It's probably one of the most important things that you have is your attention. So I want to control my attention. Now, the reason I would put attention on something is to observe and get data, to then use that data to assimilate it, to process it, to make my life create certain outcomes, right? So let's talk about like reading a book. I would read a book, I would pay attention on the data to get information, to then use that information to improve my life, right? And so what goes in is what comes out in most cases. And if you think about this, it's kind of a common natural law in life. If I put unhealthy food in my body, I have unhealthy things come out of my body, right? If I put, unhealthy relationships into my life, I'm going to have an output of unhealthy relationships with others. So what goes in is what comes out. And so if I'm watching the news, I want you to think about what's actually being talked about. When was the last time you watched the news? For me, it's been, I don't know. I was probably a teenager. Like I literally have not watched the news since then. What was being talked about and what I remember is probably really similar today, right? The war that we're about to get into or the one that we're still in, right? President isn't the real president. The political scandals, the upcoming election, there's always going to be something about the debt ceiling or the fiscal cliff or the budget deficit or default. Those are always topics, right? Those are hot ones, right? So you have to realize the news is about selling ratings. They're selling your attention, which means, check this phrase out, capture your attention. When you capture something, it's not good. When you're captured, you're the captured one, you're the slave. Hey, what's up? Jerry here. I just wanted to give you another reminder. Grab my book, Blueprint to Financial Freedom. It's going to be one of the best books you have ever read on finance. I can promise you that. You're going to love it. It's also a free offer. So if you go to jerryfetta.com/B2F promo, you can get that now. Right? If I capture an animal, that animal is my slave. I've captured it. It is no longer free. So when your attention gets captured by the news, your attention is no longer free. It's a slave. It's being commanded. It's being given data. It's being given, think about this, watch that. And the worst part about the news isn't always even the news. It's almost, the news is bad enough, right? But check this out. You watch the news, they tell you just how bad the world is, how bad things are and how this is doomed and that's doomed. Then the commercials come on. And that's when they sell you the freaking antidepressants, right? They tell you life is miserable, the world's about to end. Then they sell you antidepressants that are going to screw your brain up forever, right? That's worse. Okay, I don't need that. So I don't watch the news. Now, those that do watch the news, usually they're like, well, I want to be informed and, I want to know what's happening. Okay, hearing someone spout their opinion off about a story that they heard from someone else, not even getting it from the source is not news, right? Hearing a reporter tell me their biased opinion, like just the fact that it's bipartisan. If you're a Democrat, you watch CNN. If you're a Republican, you watch Fox News. Just that fact means the information is biased. Right? You're only hearing what you want to hear. So if I really want to know what's going on, I need to actually go to the source, right? I need to figure out what's the source, how do I learn? And if there is no source, and here's what you'll find if you track most of the news stories back, there isn't a source. There's no way for you to know. So if there's no way for you to know, quit trying. It does not matter what Putin's doing in Russia. No one gives a crap. It's Russia. Okay, it doesn't matter what strain of virus broke out in what country. Like, you have a family, you've got friends, you've got a community. Focus on them instead. So what has happened, and this happens more than just news, people focus on the big picture, the macro. They're like, I need to know what's happening in the UK, and I need to know what's happening in Ukraine and in Africa and here and there. Well, I think instead, and if you go back several years before we had the news, people knew what was happening in their own town. They knew what was happening in their own family. Like, how many people know what's happening between Russia and Ukraine and they don't even know what's happening in the life of their own child? They don't know, but they know what Putin's doing, right? They know that Kim Jong-un, if he can get a tall enough stool, he's going to hit the button on that missile and he's going to bomb America, but they don't know what's happening in their wife's life or their kid's life, or they don't know what's going on with their employees, but they know all about the news, right? The news has no product for you. And what I mean by that, it doesn't produce anything. When is the last time your life got better because you watched the news? Okay, like when was the last time you watched the news and then they sent you a check saying, thank you for doing your job. You're now being compensated for producing. No, that doesn't happen. And so I used to say, just don't watch the news because it's negative and they sell, antidepressants and it can't help you and all this stuff. And that's all true. But I had a friend of mine that pointed it out in an even more simple and profound way. Next, I don't want to interrupt you too long. I just want to give you a free offer for my book, The Blueprint to Financial Freedom. If you go to jerryfetta.com/B2F promo, you can get the book now. I'm going to let you get back to the video. He said, that's not your valuable final product in life. Only put your attention on things that you get paid to produce, right? And pay doesn't just mean money. Pay means that you get an exchange back. So think about, if you're working, yeah, you get paid in money. If you're exercising, you get paid in health. Okay, if you're spending time with your family, you get paid in goodwill and you get paid in having that family unit strong. If you eat well, you get paid in health. Like, everything has an exchange back. So if it's not something that, it's got something that I want and need as a result of doing it, that makes my life better, that's called your valuable final product. Like, I don't care about it and I'm not going to produce in that area, right? It's the same reason I wouldn't go to, like a fast food joint. It doesn't produce what I want and need. I don't want to eat that and then have the production of having eaten greasy cheeseburgers and French fries, right? That's not what I want as a result in my life. So the paradigm shift is, think about, what do you want in your life? In your life, not in Russia's life, not in Joe Biden's life, not in whoever, like in your actual life. What do you want in your life? And then you reverse engineer what actually needs to be done to create that result and go do those things. And then only consume information that helps you achieve the doingness and then the activity that you need to do to achieve that result, right? And the news, I'm going to wrap up on this. It's very similar to the economy. Okay, how many people know about the stock market? And they know about, this company's doing well in the crash and there's a boom and, this is happening and, all this stuff in the stock market is this giant casino, right? And people seem to be well informed on it. Okay, take that, like that's the majority of people. They know just enough about the stock market to make small talk with you, versus how many people understand their own finances in their household and they know their budget and they know how to reduce their taxes. It's very slim. Not many people understand their own personal situation. The root of the word economy actually means your personal household. So the news is like the stock market. People watch it, they pay attention to it, they get this generalized knowledge, but they're not even informed on their own life. They're not informed on their family. They're not informed on their community. They're not informed on their church. I want to know that news. I don't want to know about the other news. Just like I want to know about my own personal economy, not the economy of a bunch of random people. So guys, if you're watching today, my tip is stop watching the news. And instead, I want you to study stuff that helps you in your life. Get news that's going to help you in your life. And if you're going to get news from other people, only let it be good. If someone or something is constantly giving me bad news, it's out. I'm cutting it. I'm cutting the person, thing, whatever that is that's always giving me bad news. I don't need or want that, right? So if you implement this and you do this for the next, let's say, week, okay? Like in the next week, you're probably going to experience withdrawals. If you do another week, you're probably going to start feeling better. And so I would push to do 2 weeks straight of no news. Any network, doesn't matter, no topic, no news whatsoever. That's all I've got for you today. Thanks for watching. Like, share, and subscribe. I'll see you next time. Hey, this is Jerry Fetta here. I want to thank you for watching my video, watching my content. I hope you enjoyed it. If you would like to learn more about the Blueprint to Financial Freedom and how you can achieve passive income that exceeds your savings, your expenses, your taxes, your generosity, and build wealth like the top 1%, I want to encourage you, grab a copy of my book, The Blueprint to Financial Freedom. You can go to jerryfetta.com/B2F promo, or you can click the link in the description of the video here. The copy is free. You cover your shipping. We'll send the book out to you, and we'll send you an email with a bunch of great bonus material also for free. Get the book, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you on my next content.